Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have brand new clips of the new Creepover Party episode, new releases and more, so stay tuned and let's get into it. So we have brand new clips that were found actually in the latest compilation video that was uploaded on the official Monster High YouTube channel just a couple hours ago, so if you go check it out right now, you can see for yourself the clip from the new Creepover episode in the middle of the compilation. And in this clip we get to see I'm guessing it looks like the final scene of the Creepover episode, which is actually called Overprotective, which is all about Claude trying to figure out, his relationship with, Claudine. So I didn't know that, from the description that we read a couple weeks ago. I didn't get the sense that that this was going to be also revolving around the new Creepover Party outfits from the main trio and also Twyla, but this is the weird part. Twyla isn't here in the ending scene, which, yes, it does seem like this clip is the ending scene. So what happened to Twyla? Where is Twyla? And maybe it's like a two-parter, or I'm not sure, but let's get into the clip and the full scene. So the clip starts off with Claudine and Claude being stuck in a room, a chamber of some sorts, where they are stuck with a huge monster plant. I know there's a name for these. It's escaping me right now. It's like a fly trap plant, and it looks like the pet of Venus. It's like the same species of type of plant. Carnivorous plant, and it looks really big, obviously. And speaking of Venus, obviously this plant probably has nothing to do with Venus, but I do feel like these are maybe little hints that maybe Venus is in the cards for the future of G3. I feel like they would be really dumb to not introduce Venus back into G3, especially because we already have Nephra. We know we're getting Operetta in the live action sequel. All we're missing is Rochelle, Rebecca, and Venus. I feel like they're the most logical next characters to bring back in G3. But anyways, so they're stuck here in this space for whatever reason, and then they find a solution to get out of it by blinding the monster with Claudine's amulet by transforming. And so they get out of there really quickly through a hatch in the floor. Then it cuts to the others in a separate room, which is actually below the hatch, as we'll see in a second, playing some kind of board game with actual bugs. We can see a better look at Lagoona, Jey Hologram, Frankie, and Deuce in their Creepover outfits, especially with Deuce and Lagoona in what seems to be their new Creepover Party outfits that might or might not be depicted on future series 2 of Creepover Party dolls. I feel like there might be a series 2 with the rest of the characters. Why not? But so basically, because the Claude and Claudine, they drop on Frankie and Deuce as they play the board game, it obviously messes up the whole score. And so Frankie and Deuce say that they won, and then Lagoona and Jey Hologram, I guess they were paired up in teams, and they were a team, they lost. So I love the expression here with Jey Hologram and Lagoona. They look so, pissed off. But it's really funny. And we basically get to see a better look at Lagoona's outfit here as well, which looks amazing. I love the headpiece, the shirt, the bottom, the shorts, and Deuce also, he looks great. It's actually, his outfit is really simple, but I like the pants. And he him and Frankie, they have a cute little victory dance scene, little moment here. So I really like that they're building up the relationships more with these characters, especially Deuce, because he's not really much in these episodes, as well with Claude. I'm really glad that they're giving them more screen time, the monsters. And then basically the final scene is of Claude narrating as we see them, have little moments, little fist bumps, friendly sibling, dynamic. I love that they're fleshing the, bond here a little bit more. It really gets to show you that, Claude and Claudine are not just like female or male versions of each other. They're actually also like their own characters, which is amazing. And I feel like oftentimes in G1, we really never got the dynamic fleshed out enough between them, as a bond. So I'm really glad that here they're really trying to, pave the future, relationship between them. It's amazing here because the flaw, the issue of the episode, I guess, is that Claude is feeling protective because he has a sister now and he has to like protect her. But, as he narrates, he says that he realizes he doesn't need to protect her and he should just focus on, be how awesome Claudine is already. So it's really neat little moment here. It's really cute, and honestly it's just really cute that they're, again, I'm really happy that they're fleshing this bond out already. And I really hope that Claude and Deuce get added into the main roster of characters who show up more often in episodes, because they definitely need more, exposition and character development. And then actually at the very end, we get to see how some cards seem to come to life for some reason. I'm thinking it's probably, Dracula's witchcraft. That's the purpose here. And then it fades to black and we get the rest of the compilation. So how is this episode gonna be structured now that we know that this is actually, the overprotective episode of, where Claude, it's all about Claude and Claudine, and their relationship. But we also know that, the Creepover party outfits, and we also have seen Twyla interact with Dracula, Frankie, and Claudine while they're wearing the Creepover party outfits. So how is this episode structured, and why is Twyla not anywhere to be seen in this what seems to be this final end scene of the episode? Is she not in the episode after all? I do think she is in the episode. It's just more likely that maybe she shows up quickly at the beginning and then they move on to the rest of the episode where Claude and Claudine, have to find their way out of this, trap with the plant monster, and that's where we get to see the final scene play out. So I do think maybe it'll start off with, Claudine, Dracula, Frankie, the main trio, going to the library to find some books for maybe like the sleepover, and that's where they meet, Twyla, or maybe they go to the library to deposit the witchcraft book that we got to see in a latest episode that can talk, and that's where we get Twyla introduced, or maybe it's another way. I'm not sure. What we do know is that Twyla, this whole scene of them interacting in the previous, promotional clips, it's taking place in the library. So we know something's going to happen there. We know that they're going to get introduced in a library. It's just I'm not quite sure how it will connect to the final end scene that we just got in the compilation. But I do know they're connected for sure, because they're wearing the same outfits, the same exact outfits, and I don't think they will have two separate episodes just for one with Twyla and one with Claude. I just think, unfortunately, Twyla will probably just be a cameo here in this episode instead of like an actual fully fledged introduction like with Abby. It's not going to be like an Abby episode where Abby had her introduction and she was like a main player in the plot of the episode. I feel like for this episode, Twyla will get introduced, but it's not going to be about her. She's just going to be, again, it's just a quick cameo, unfortunately. I do hope we get to hear her speak, and maybe she passes on some words of wisdom and knowledge that they might need in future episodes. And I do think we'll get to see her more again, just unfortunately not in this episode like a lot of her. Moving on, we do have what seems to be new releases of Monster High happening soon in the summer. As we can see here from these listings, what it is, I'm not sure. All we know is that it says Mattel, and the description says Creeptastic. So from the description we can decipher it's obviously Monster High, but what it is, Alumni, G3, Not really sure. It could be anything, honestly. This is just taken from the listing. So it could be anything. It could be, School Ultimate Secrets series like Skeleta. It could be the Werecats 2-pack. It could be new characters. It could be the other half of series 2, core series 2. Literally, like, it could be anything. And lastly, I wanted to talk about these new pictures of official, high quality images of the characters posted on the Nickelodeon Instagram account that shows us our first high quality picture of, I guess, Gulia, kind of. We got a good picture of her and, of Manny as well, and Finnegan. They look amazing, and hopefully this means that we'll get to see them more in future episodes as well, because we also know that Gil is returning. We know he's coming back. We read the description, so very juicy. We have a high quality picture finally of Dracula. Dracula's dad. So that's amazing. And also of Claude and Abby. They look so cute. They look so good. I'm happy that Claude is finally getting, due justice. But strangely enough, next to Torlai, we have Goobert. He's the slime monster that he's appeared in like two scenes now from 2 episodes. So he's kind of like established, I guess. He's appeared here and there as a background character. But who else would have fit right in next to Torlai? Could have been Spectra. I don't know why they chose Goobert here to pose next to Torlai. I feel like Spectra would have deserved this spot way more. I mean, she's been here since the first episode, and she actually, she's an actually like established character from G1. She looks awesome. So I don't know why they chose Goobert, who's like a new character and who, frankly, like, no offense, but he's not like really cool. I feel like Spectra just would have made more sense here, but they chose Goobert, so like a slime monster. I don't know why. I guess the optics of having more male characters represented, but then they could have also chosen like one of the werewolf boys, but why Goobert? It makes no sense. I would have preferred a Spectra by a long shot, or again, even just the werewolf boys, Barkimedes or whatever his name is, or Howleen, or what about, Howleen, Nephra, Twyla. We know they're coming. They could have also just given them new quality pictures, but whatever. But yeah, that was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what you think of everything down below. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the adulty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses. Happy weekend.